Alright, what is up everybody? Today we're going to be going over some off-meta engravings that you can run on your alts, or just to look out for your accessory drops that let you do a lot of damage that will save you a lot of money. So just to set a baseline, this is my character, here are my stats and my attack power. And the engravings I'm going to be using are Ambush Master, Level 3 Surge, and Adrenaline, just to get a baseline for damage. As you can see, with no additional engravings, my Surge skill hits around 15 million. And if we add in Level 3 Grudge here, which is the most optimal engraving for damage, we can see how much my Surge skill hits for. So Cursed Doll here is a popular alternative to Grudge because instead of taking 20% more damage, your healing is just reduced by 25%. And one thing I want to make clear for you guys is that Grudge and Cursed Doll are two engravings that multiply your damage instead of adding a percent on top of it. So as we gain more and more engravings and more stats in the future with relic gear, no matter what, you will have to end up transitioning into these to keep your damage relevant. So Propulsion increases the damage of your skills and abilities by 16% for 5 seconds after using a movement skill. And something you should keep in mind when using this is that your dash cooldown affects your uptime. So since I am playing an assassin, I have an 8-second cooldown on my dash, which means 5 of those 8 seconds, if I'm using my dash on cooldown, will gain the damage bonus from Propulsion. So now we've got Stabilized Status here, which is plus 16% damage when your HP is above 80%. As you can see, it hits just about as hard. You just have to keep your HP up. So Ether Predator here gives you plus 15% attack power and plus 30% defense for 90 seconds. I've gone ahead and stacked up Ether Predator for you guys. It does take a little bit of time to stack up, so you know that is the downside to using this engraving. Another decent combination you can use if you don't want to spend your gold on Adrenaline is using Precise Dagger for added crit rate, and then you can use Keen Blunt Weapon here to offset the damage loss. Alright, next up here, we're going to try out Raid Captain, which is plus 45% of your basic move speed to your damage. And so again, this is not an engraving you would want to use on a class that does not have a move speed bonus. So for swiftness-based classes, you have a couple alternatives as well that can increase your attack speed. Spirit Absorption increases your attack and move speed by 15%. And you guys can use Magic Stream, that gives you up to 15% MP recovery and 10% skill cooldowns as long as you are not hit for 15 seconds. Now, I did place all these clips in order from highest to lowest damage, but in case you don't feel like rewinding, I've added a little chart here that I will put up on screen if you want to go ahead and pause the video and read over it. And another thing to keep in mind is, in the interest of time, I am just recording single hits from a 20-stack Surge skill here, but your DPS will change based on your class and how the engraving applies to you. So I would recommend going and testing these engravings out in Trixian here if you want to see how exactly your class is affected by these engravings. And there are a lot more engravings out there that you can look at that may suit your class or your playstyle. These are just the most notable ones that I saw whenever reading through the entire list. And just something I want to reiterate is that this is about budget builds here. This is about cheap engravings that you can use to get MVPs in your alt runs, right? But if somebody is on their main and they are running full meta engravings like Grudge and Cursed Doll, they will end up dealing more damage than you. So you know, take all the things that I've talked about here with a grain of salt. They're not meta because they're not the best. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys learned a lot, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments or swing by my Twitch and ask there.